they're not synonyms, they're not antonyms, they don't mean the same, they're not related, but they sound the same. So that's how they could be related if they want to, because they rhyme. Fall, call, tall, small. So I'm gonna erase these two definitions. Please put your notebook for your definitions to the side. And if you missed a word or anything during our independent work, you can ask a friend and to see their notes. But I will be checking to see if you completed those definitions at the end of the day. So let's see. I'm going to write an example of a couplet, and so that we have an idea before we start writing our couplet. So give me a few minutes. Okay, so let's see, take a look at this example of a couplet. Let's see. Nature puts on little shows every time it rains and snows. So, from what we've learned, let's take it back a step before we begin. Who can remind me what a couplet is? Look back at your notes. I will wait. Yeah, David? Correct. A couplet is a two-line, similar in length poem, and it has endings that rhyme. Any words that rhyme, correct. So, now that we see an example of a couplet, let's see, what would this, what makes this a couplet from what we see? Yes, Samantha? Good job. It has two lines, right? We have one line here, and then this is our two lines. So we have our one line, two lines, so that means it is a two-line poem. And then what else does it, how does it fit our definition of a couplet? Yes, Eric? Correct. Our ending words rhyme. So shows rhymes with snows. If you hear closely, shows, snows, that rhymes, correct. So yes, and it's a, yes, good job, Eric. Yes, and it's also a short two-line poem. Good job. So that's what makes this a couplet. Here's an example of a couplet. So now, please take a look at your graphic organizers. Here I have mine, my copy, right? You should have those in your notebook from earlier. And with those, I'm going to ask you to take a look at those words closely. And open up a new page on your notebook. For this, you are going to write your name. We're going to start our draft writing of a couplet. And we're going to use it. It's going to be based on butterflies because we learned a couple of things earlier today about butterflies. So, on the top of your notebook page, your new notebook page, I want you to write your name and the date. Your name should be on top of your page and also the date. So now, and if you want to label your page, it could be rough draft because it is not our final copy of a poem, correct? So it's just a rough draft. So from our graphic organizer, independently, I want you to pick 5 of those words that you see in your graphic organizer. And keep in mind, so every time you pick a word, pick another word that rhymes with the word. For example, if I want to pick sky as one of my words, what relates to sky from the butterfly unit that rhymes with sky? Yes, butterflies fly. So I can say butterfly and fly. You can write it like this in pairs, or you can write single words like for example, if I was talking about fall and tall for tall trees. Those would be two of my words. But this would be a perfect example. If you want to use, you can, but that would be a perfect example for the butterfly. So we have a lot of words from our graphic organizer, and if you do need help, I will be walking around to check on you. Like if you need help with the word that rhymes, you only have one word and you need a word that rhymes or that relates to butterflies, just raise your hand and I will help you. But also you can turn and talk to your partner if you do need help, or if you need to look back at your notes, and this is the time to focus on that. Understood? Yes. Okay. So while I do that, while you students do that, I will write my 5 words up here so that we can bring it back. So my 5 words. Yes, Samantha, do you need any help? Oh, you need a help with the word that rhymes with wings. Okay, wings. What other word did we have in our graphic organizer that sounds the same? If it helps, you can sound out the words and out loud so that you can know if it rhymes better. So, wings. Here, I'll help you out. When do butterflies usually come out? In the spring and the summer. Okay. Spring and summer. What rhymes with wings? One of those words. Wings and springs. Good job, Samantha. You see? Great job. That would be perfect. So those 5 words, those 2 rhyme. Okay. Yes, if you need any more help, I'll be okay. I'll be here. Okay, students, now that I've seen and walked around, I've seen that most of you have your 5 words. From those 5 words, I want you to pick 2 words that rhyme, because we only need 2 ending words for our couplet, correct? Because our definition is a couplet that is a 2-line verse with ending words that rhyme. And if there's only 2 lines, there should be 2 ending words. 1 ending word in each line, making it 2. So from those 5 words, I want you to circle 2 words that rhyme so that you can use in your poem that relate to butterflies. So for example, for me, I'm gonna pick 2 words. Okay. Let's bring it back, students. I hope you have chosen your 5 words and then circled the 2 words that you will be using to write your poem. So, let's take a look up at the whiteboard again. Let's bring back our attention, please. Like I said, I labeled a rough draft. I have my 5 words. So, from my graphic organizer, I picked sky, bright, fly, wings, and sunlight. And yes, and if you need more time, don't worry. When we start writing our couplet, you can still ask for help. And then you should have circled 2 words that rhyme. So my words, in another page of your notebook, write those words to the side. So my 2 words, I circled bright and sunlight because they have that "ite" ending, "ite," that ending sound. Yes. So let's see. I want you to give you a few minutes to write 2 words and then write them to the side on your notebook. So now I'm going to erase my other words. You don't have to because it should be in your notebook. This is all part of the rough draft process of writing a couplet. So now I have my words on the side, and now I really have to brainstorm here. Now let's see. What's something that is really bright from that relates to butterflies? When I wrote down bright in my graphic organizer, I was thinking about the butterfly's wings. So for example, I can say the butterflies. So here would be my couplet. Don't write this down, just watch right now. You all have time on once I'm done showing you how to process, how to model, how to write a couplet. So I have my butterfly couplet. So I have my 2 words, bright. When I was writing that down, I was thinking about the butterfly's wings, right? So I would say the butterflies wings were so, I'm not gonna have space. So I have my words up here. Bright sunlight. So the butterfly's wings were so bright. That's my first verse, correct? My first line right there. The butterfly's wings were so bright. And then let's see what my second word was sunlight. So when I said sunlight, the light of the sun helps the wings light up. So I'm going to say they glimmered, because for another word it could be they shined. They glimmered in the sun's light. So there you go. This is my second verse, and you have period, then the comma. So this is my second verse, and then so Eric, why is this a great example for a couplet? Correct. They have ending words that rhyme. And then Claire, what's the other main characteristic that makes this a couplet? Yes, it's short. And what else, Annabelle? That it has two lines to the poem. Correct. So now, boys and girls, it's your time to write a couplet based on butterflies. So with the words you chose. So here you should have your 2 words, and I will leave this up as my example, but please let's get to work, and I will be walking around to answer any questions again. And don't be afraid to ask your partners, your friends, because they all will be writing. Everyone's going to have different ideas based on what you all had in your graphic organizer, because like I've mentioned before, if you wanted to add your own ideas, you could to your graphic organizer. Once you are done with your rough draft, please bring it up to me, because I'm going to hand you your final, let me show you. I'm going to hand you this template that you are gonna be able to cut out, and then you can pick a color of construction paper that I have up here. But for the butterfly line paper, this is for your final draft. So please come up with your rough draft so I can check it, and then I will allow you to finalize it in your final butterfly cutout. And then, so please just be creative. You all got this. Super smart, every one of you. And like I said, you're not alone. You have your friends and you have me that can help you. And yeah, let's get to work, and please bring it up before you grab a finalized paper. And then with this, you would cut it out, and it should look something like mine, with construction paper and your name on top and your date, and then your glued butterfly couplet on the construction paper. Okay, boys and girls, now that we've finished our couplets, they all look beautiful. We are going to review, let's bring it back to the front of the classroom. We're going to review what we've learned. So, here I have the words. Let's review our academic language that we've learned. Here I have the words. So I'm just going to write the words, and then I'm not going to write the definitions again. We will just review by talking. But can anyone first tell me what a couplet was defined as? How did we describe it? Yes, Eric? Good job. A 2-line poem that has ending words that rhyme. Correct. Let's see. Who can tell me what poetry is? Samantha? Yes, good job using your notes. You can use your notes. Yes, poetry is a type of literature that attempts to stir a reader's emotions or express a writer's emotions. Correct. So, good job. What about poet, Annabelle? What is a poet? Yes, good job, Annabelle. A poet is the person who writes the poems. Good job. Let's see. Who should I choose? David, what is a poem? Good job. Yes, they are pieces of writing in which the words are chosen for their beauty and sound, and are carefully structured to fit the characteristics of that poem you are writing. Good job. So let's see. 5, rhyme. What do we know already? What's the definition of rhyme? Yes, Claire? Good job. Words that sound the same or similar in their endings. Good job. And then lastly, Annabelle, what is a butterfly? Good job. Yes, a butterfly is an insect with 6 legs and 3 separate parts of their body. Good job. And not only that, but we've learned from our graphic organizer, we have all those facts about butterflies, correct? So, apart from that, today we also started our poetry unit. We were able to create our own couplet, and we got to put our final draft on a butterfly lined paper, and they all look beautiful. So before you leave class, remember to put your final drafts on the turn-in bin by the door so I can place them throughout our classroom. They're gonna look beautiful. And then in 2 weeks so next week when we learn about a new type of poem, we will take those couplet poems down, bring those home, and then put up our new poems that we learn next week. Don't forget to come with me before you leave also to show me your vocabulary definitions. I need to see completion of that. We have like 5 more minutes if you want to ask quickly your partner to the right if you're missing a word, but we should be done with our couplet final draft, and then I should check for completion so I can write that in my notes that you all have it done. Thank you all for being great listeners. I hope you all enjoyed learning about butterflies and how to write a couplet. See you all in my next class, and don't forget to review those academic words, academic language words, so that we can know those for next time. All right, thank you. Bye.